Hello, guys. My name is Simbarashim Kruva, and on this channel, I talk specifically about those people and organizations who lie to you in order to get your money. Yes, because they just want your money. Uh, if you look at the way this world is going, it's very worrying the amount of scams that are flooded online and pretty much everywhere, left, right, and center. And we uh, we are kind of going in the wrong direction as far as money is concerned, and it's very worrying because I start thinking, what will happen to our children growing up? How are they going to live in such a world where pretty much everybody wants to scam them? It's it's very worrying. I'm going to show you some statistics for you to see the magnitude of the problem. Right, I've got some pretty much scary statistics concerning global scams and fraud. In 2020, there were 50,176 reports of fraud across the globe. Now, I think that number is, definitely anyone, these are reported for cases, but the unreported ones, if they were to be included, you can only imagine what that number could be. Because some people don't report that they've been scammed. They are so ashamed and they just keep silent. So on that number, that 50,176, the United States of America had the highest number of reported fraud by e-consumers. So the United States of America had 8,573 in 2020. The second on top of the consumer location was France with 1,564, followed by India. India has quite a low number. It's 903. Is kind of a joke for India. But it's probably because the Indians are not scamming their own within their country, but they are actually scamming people overseas. They are mostly targeting first world countries like the United States of America, Canada, New Zealand, Australia, the United Kingdom, and other countries in Europe. So Indians are scamming overseas. They are not scamming themselves. So they have a low number of fraud within their country. But these are reported frauds, reported cases, and the United Kingdom has the lowest on that number. So in 2020, total losses amounted to 154.8 million US dollars. The vast majority of reported companies for fraud in 2020 were located in the US and China. So the United States of America and China had the highest. So in 2019, fraud reports were made against 20,802 Canadian-based companies. So these companies, I would want to believe that what they are calling companies, these are those companies that we're talking about, that which are not regulated. They are not probably registered, but they just stick out a website there and then defraud people and then disappear into thin air. Government imposter scams jumped by 53% from 2018 to 2019. just from 2018 to 2019. These websites that disguise themselves as the government wanting information from you, they jumped up by 53%. That's quite a significant number. That's really big. And these government imposter scams, what they do is they disguise themselves as the government, a government agency. So they have a fake website, and also they send out emails and texts to say, oh, your account, we need to verify your account. Can you send us back your information? So they are after identity fraud. There's identity fraud there is a big part of it. So at the end, they get bank details. They get your identity information, and then the next thing you find, your name has been used to in some crime some way. A lot of governments have really invested a lot on cybersecurity on their systems, because if those systems are attacked, our information is at stake. An Indian national was sentenced to 20 years in prison for involvement in scams that defraud US victims of millions of dollars. So his role, this Indian who was sentenced to 20 years in prison, his role included operating and funding an India-based call center between 2013 and 2016. Yeah, these call centers are actually a problem in India. They are big business there. They generate quite a lot of money scamming people overseas. I mean, if you defraud US citizens if the money is really big, they will come after you. They will come after you wherever you are and bring you back. There's a guy, a Nigerian called Hush Puppy. That's his nickname anyway. They got him and they brought him to. They took him to the US because he did it at a bigger scale. 2.6% of frauds in China were prize or lottery winnings. So they just send you a message and say you've won a prize. To claim it, send us some information or send us this fee, a little charge, and then you can imagine how many people they do that who respond by paying, because what they do is, if the price is so big, they will just say, okay, send us £100 for you, for there's this fee and this and that to be. They just structure it in a way that you will believe that, for sure, administration costs and all this and that stuff, then I'll get my money. No, you're not getting your money. Internet fraud statistics show slightly more than half of the online frauds encountered by the internet users in China as of March 2020. You see, this March 2020 has the scams just kind of like skyrocketed. I'm going to go on this Australia statistics is just jaw-dropping. 39% of people who were victims of internet scams and telemarketing in China were between 22 and 28 years old. Now, this is kind of baffling, because you would want to think that 22-year-olds you would want to think that, oh, well, they should be well vigilant to especially anything that involves online or all that. It means they are believing these scammers. They're believing these scammers. But the thing is with telemarketing, you mostly it's the issue of the sales of some goods or whatever, and then they don't get the thing. Yeah, you pay something and then it doesn't come. That could happen to anyone, But it's really sad that even young people, their trust is being damaged. At a young age like that, this world is becoming so hostile to them. Australia lost a 58.6 million in investment scams in 2020 as of December. Now, that's from December. Remember, we've got March 2020 when the pandemic started and we were all locked up in the houses. We couldn't get out. So what did we do when the very first lockdown happened? We were all terrified of going outside. And what did we do? We went online. We were watching videos. We were watching YouTube videos. And the scammers, what did they do? They got to business. They started telling us, oh, you are going to lose your job. You can't trust this world. Sign up to our program and make money online. And a lot of people fell for that. Right. I will go to Australia statistics. They have quite a the Australian Competition Consumer Commission has a well organized website that is quite very interesting, where it's so much easy for you to really see these figures. So there is something about March 2020. So if you can select a date here. So I've selected March 2020. So it will show you the figures of what scams were at the top. So it's investment scams, as you can see. Investment scams were $7.2 million, Australian dollars. That was lost. Now that's the money that was lost in all those scams in March 2020, when the first lockdown started. So followed by dating and romance, because we were at home and others were lonely and they were looking to meet someone online. And so in Australia alone, they lost 5.2 million in romance and dating scams. False billing, where you are just sent a false bill, they lost 639,000 Australian dollars. Classified scams. So it goes on and on and on. As you can see, identity theft was... Australia is quite very strict. So the identity fraud, 128,000. Remote access scams. Remote access scams, these are like the tech support scammers. Health and medical products. That's another area, this one, where people are selling these wonder remedies and, It's crazy. Very, very crazy, this world. Online shopping scams where you buy something and it doesn't come. Or you buy something and then something completely different comes. Classified, right? Okay, so that's the thing. This is what I wanted to show you, that you can actually choose the date. So if we United Kingdom scam statistics, in 2019, UK consumers lost 41 billion a year on potentially misleading eco-friendly products and services. Yeah, they sell these, what they call eco-friendly. These days, there's this thing about, save the environment, we want to save the planet, and this product does this and this, it doesn't pollute, it doesn't do that. So buy this, and then you buy, and then you find it doesn't, it's not what you were sold. There is this guy who bought solar panels online from China, and he bought solar panels. He thought that he was gonna get them put on his roof, and only to find that the solar panels were delivered, and they were small solar panels like this. Small panels that came. That's what, yeah, it happens a lot when you buy things from China, and if you don't really know exactly who you are buying from. And now he had the hassle of trying to send it back, the hassle of trying now to contact the person and to do the reverse transaction it's nearly impossible. One of my biggest worries is the impunity that surrounds white-collar crime. Look, if you search online as to how many of these scammers at a global level, those who have scammed millions, and how many of them have really been arrested and locked behind bars, there are very few of them. Very, very few of them. In fact, a lot of them have just gotten away with it. Especially when it surrounds unregulated investment scams. We haven't seen much prosecutions on investment scams. If we continue going the way we are going, without arrests, without any consequences in defrauding people with investment scams, we are going to have more and more people doing these fraudulent schemes, pyramid schemes and Ponzi schemes, and all these crypto scams, investment scams. These are the ones that have gotten away with a lot of money without any consequences. Okay, so remember, guys, never trust anything. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.